Good afternoon. So right now, as I'm recording this, all the storms, tornado watches, and horrible rain and hail have cleared out of Tawas City, Michigan, and skies are back to normal. It's bright and sunny, but it's still pretty hot out. But 3 hours south of me down in Oakland County, Michigan, there are people sitting in the dark with no air conditioning, triple-digit heat indexes. No, it's not a hurricane. It's not an earthquake. It's not even some far-off scenario in a book. It's just a heat wave and a grid that couldn't keep up. And here's the thing that I want to be honest with you about. The only reason that I'm not sitting in the dark right now as well is geography. It's not preparedness. It's not even planning. It's just where I happen to be sitting. This week, the Department of Energy issued emergency orders just to keep the lights on for 67 million people. New York's grid operator is sitting on the thinnest reserve margin that they've had in over a decade. And this is all happening the same week that millions of people are firing up their grills and they're heading to the lake for the 4th of July. That's tomorrow. And I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you this because this is exactly the kind of thing that I've been talking about for months. And this week it stopped being theoretical. Let me give you the short version because the news makes this sound more complicated than it is. The grid that covers 13 states and 67 million people, PJM, asked for emergency authority this week to let power plants run past their normal limits and let this big data centers get cut off first before your house does. That's not a small thing. That's grid operators telling you in plain language, we are close to the edge, and it's not just PJM. New York's grid operator said their cushion this summer is less than half what it was last year. Now, this isn't a one-state problem. This is a summer of 2026 problem. Here's where most people are going to get this wrong. They think that my power's never gone out for more than a few hours. I'll be fine. That's the same thinking as my OnStar story that I told you a couple weeks ago. One system worked one time, so people assume it'll always work. But a grid running at the edge doesn't fail politely. It fails when everybody needs it most. At 2 p.m, in a heat dome, with your air conditioning compressor working overtime right alongside a few 100,000 of your neighbors, along with their air compressors. The people in Oakland County this week didn't get a warning either. They just lost power. So I'd like to suggest a 20-minute fix. And this is the part that I actually want you to walk away with, because none of this requires a bunker or a $5,000 generator. Go find your breaker panel right now and actually label it. Don't do it someday. Do it today. Know which circuit runs your fridge, which one runs a window unit or a box fan. Fill a couple gallon jugs and stick them in the freezer. Frozen jugs can keep a fridge cold for hours during an outage and double as drinking water once they melt. Know where your nearest cooling center is, not because you'll need it, but because your elderly neighbor might. If you're on a variable rate electrical plan, running big appliances before 2 p.m. or after 7 at night isn't just cheaper. It actually will take some of the pressure off the whole system. 20 minutes. That's it. That's the whole amount of time it's going to take to label that panel. People are going to watch a video like this and they're going to go buy a generator. And that's fine. Generators are great. I've got a couple of them. But for a heat wave outage, that's not usually the first fix to the problem. Battery-powered fan and a good thermometer will get most families through the dangerous part of a hot weather outage a lot cheaper and a lot faster than a generator that you've got to fuel. You got to wire it in, and you got to run outside away from the windows. If somebody in your house depends on a medical device like we do, that's where a small power station will come in and earn its keep. Not for running your whole house, but just for keeping that one thing alive to help keep you alive until the grid comes back or help arrives. Buy for the outage that you're actually likely to have, not the one that looks best on camera. And that's the part I really want to land. A heat wave doesn't hit everybody the same way. It hits the guy down the street living alone the hardest. The elderly folks who won't run their AC because they're worried about the bill. The ones who won't ask for help because they don't want to be a bother. That's not a stranger's problem to solve. That's a walk next door and check problem. Preparedness isn't just about stocking your own place. Sometimes it's about a phone call or a knock on the next door neighbor's door. Hey, are you doing okay in this heat? That costs you nothing, and it might be the most important thing that you do all week. The grid held this week, mostly. But mostly and barely are starting to sound like the same word more often than they used to. This isn't about panic, it's about paying attention. Label your panel, freeze your jugs, know your neighbor. None of that's exciting. None of it makes for a great unboxing video, but it's the stuff that actually gets people through the hard afternoons. And that's how you stay around long enough to matter.